Hello, hello. Welcome into a Wednesday. It is February the 11th, 2026, and I'm Chris Allen. This is 270 weather for the 270 area code and beyond. Welcome in on this Wednesday. It's been a nice day. Now, granted, it wasn't 76 like yesterday. But if you'll recall, I said, please do not get used to that. Please do not. Because it was only going to last for one day. And it only lasted one day. But you know what? Today was a more typical, a more normal February day for Bowling Green here, especially in the middle of February. And it wasn't bad. I didn't think so. Not bad at all. We had a high of 55. 55 here in Bowling Green, here at the airport. 5 degrees above the normal of 50. So, see, I mean, we're pretty much where we're supposed to be. And we had a low of 40 this morning, which that's not bad. At least we're not talking about teens and 20s. There's no ice or snow still laying around. I mean, there could be like way up north of us. But I mean, most of it has been melted off thanks to warmer temperatures lately. So, I mean, you think February, you think it's going to be really, really frigid, cold, but right now it's not. And as a matter of fact, as I look at the forthcoming data here for about the next week to 10 days, I don't see anything that's going to change that. In fact, we're going to steadily get warmer. We're going to just trickle up each day as we go through time. Yes, I know it's Valentine's Day weekend and it's going to get wet. So there's that. But if you can get past that, then I think you should be okay. The weather's not going to change abruptly, either this way or that way. It's just kind of, yep. All right. Looking at radar and satellite here at 6:14 p.m. on this Wednesday evening. Seeing a few clouds, but these are mostly high, thin, cirrus clouds, fair weather clouds, we like to call them sometimes, and maybe some mid-level clouds, but not bad, not really bad. If you're out this evening, you got a nice evening just to get out. And I mean, the sunset, as you can see here, is absolutely gorgeous. This is live in Litchfield, 43 degrees with a northwest wind at 8 miles per hour from the HAZCAM there at the Grayson County Emergency Management Office. There's some of those high, thin cirrus clouds and the beautiful sunset. All the temperatures, the cooler temperatures, and the very tranquil, if you will, atmosphere, making for that beautiful sunset. Let's see if we can see any more like that. Let's go up to Louisville, Metro Louisville. Well, not so much in Louisville. It's already dark. You see a plane coming in right there. Look at that, right there. That's a plane. Probably a UPS plane that's coming in. This would be near the airport south, and this is downtown. Temperature in Louisville is at 42. Let's go west out to Gage, Kentucky. Oh, look at that. Well, it's turned. You called it there for a second. You called the color. These cameras often change from color to black and white depending on how much light or daylight that they have. So that's why they're color for a little bit and then they switch over and go to black and white, but still pretty. Those are those high, thin cirrus clouds that you're looking at. That means there's moisture in the upper atmosphere, but not down here where we are. Where we are, it's nice and dry. Let's see. Let's go over to Pikeville. I wonder what's over there. This is Ryan Hall's camera. Ryan Hall, y'all. Where it's mainly clear. I see some stars up there. And you've got some little patchy fog, but not bad. 44 degrees. Northwest wind at 9. And then we can check some traffic cameras. This is coming down I-24, Clarksville. Traffic moving along. That's live. Can't tell what the skies are, though. Here is I-65. And this is as you're getting into, past Portland and the state border down that way. Not bad. Not bad at all. Here is, let's see, I-65 Dickerson Pike, the Rivergate area. Yeah. Well, for some reason, Tennessee doesn't point their cameras up to the sky. They want it on traffic, and I get that. These are traffic cameras. But at least you get to see them live, and, if there were snow or ice or something going on, this would be really something that you would want to check. Definitely. Let's go up here to Moorhead, Kentucky. It's clear, quiet. You can see some stars there, but very quiet evening in Moorhead, Kentucky. Let's go way out here, out west. Let's see if we can see some sky. Rocky Comfort, Missouri. Oh, yeah, there we go, because the sun hasn't set there yet. This is in Arkansas. Well, it's part of the Arkansas Weather Watchers Network, but it's located near the border of Arkansas and Missouri, just south of Joplin. You're looking live where it's 51 degrees. Winds are southeast at 2. Pretty nice shot there. A little bit of a breeze blowing. Beautiful sky, though. Now, I can't change the camera angle. That's all. That is dependent upon where the camera sits and who is running the camera. So I can't move it up, down, left, or right. That's up to them. Or else I would scoot it over a little bit more to see that sunset. This is Siloam Springs, Arkansas, near Fayetteville. Oh, wow. Now that is a sunset where it's 54 degrees. Winds are light. This is just outside of Fayetteville, Arkansas. How pretty. That is pretty, pretty, pretty. Yeah, that's what we want to see right there. Days are getting longer. Love it. This is Joplin. Well, see, it's a traffic camera, so they've got it on the road. All you can see is the road. Can't see the sky. But anyway, looks like it's nice. There at US 400 at US 166 near Joplin. Not far from Route 66. Which, I'm still working on trying to get people to go on the Route 66 trip with me in October. If you want to go, got to go to WNKY.com and sign up for it. We've got a few people, but we need some more. So anyway, that's the way it looks right now across the area. There's really nothing big going on. We've had the system come through last night. The cold front brought the rain, and now it's gone, and the sky's pretty much cleared up today. And that was good, really good. All right, let's go on to the Kentucky Mesonet Network. We check current temperatures here just after 6:20 p.m. 43 at the Corvette Museum and 40 currently at Western's Ag Expo Center. It's 45 in Scottsville and in Tompkinsville. But you've got low 40s pretty much everywhere else, some upper 30s, 39 in Elkton, and 38 in Burkesville. Where did everybody start this morning? In the 30s, with a few 40s. There were a few 40s down across the Tennessee border, but everybody else started in the 30s. And we ended up today with high temperatures in the 50s. We were looking for around 50 for Bowling Green, but as I mentioned, we made it to 55 here at the airport officially. But not bad. Not bad at all. Any precipitation today? Any rainfall? Well, a lot of this was recorded after midnight last night. So here in Bowling Green, 1/100th, 2/100ths, 500ths, down in Franklin, 700ths, in Scottsville. Now, 3/10 of an inch of rain in Tompkinsville, a little over that in Burkesville, just about that much in Albany, Clinton County. And you see some lesser amounts to the north. You put this in with the rain that we picked up yesterday, and everybody came out around anywhere from a quarter inch to the highest being about 3/10 of an inch. Although for the 24-hour period up here in Litchfield and Grayson County, you picked up over a half inch of rain. This 400ths you see right here was what came after midnight last night or early this morning. Winds, well, they've been mostly northerly, and they still are from the north and northwest at 5 to 10 right now. And it's that north wind that is keeping us cool behind the front. There's our front down south right there, and it's going to stay there for the next several days as this big dome of high pressure sits right over Missouri. And it's going to continue to keep the flow cool, really cool for the next several days. Not cold, though, just cool. We can handle cool because we have been so used to, winter storm and ice and freezing rain and sleet and snow and bitter cold, single digits, teens, 20s. We can handle cool. But, as I have stated many, many times over the last few days, where we are today is exactly where we're supposed to be for the middle of February. Our average high or normal high right now should be 50. And we were at 55 today. And the reason why it feels like such a jolt is because we hit 76 yesterday. We almost got close to the record. So that was just for one day. It was a one-day anomaly. And now we're back to reality. We go from anomaly to reality. And so that's why it's kind of a jolt. But here we are, high pressure going to rule our weather for tonight and tomorrow. Overnight tonight, here's midnight, high pressure still dominant. Now, there could be a couple of places that sees a little bit of patchy fog. We didn't have that much this morning. And we may not see that much tomorrow morning. But high pressure will again rule the day tomorrow. This is 6 a.m. in the morning. And as you can see, as the high pressure is sitting right over this is the Wabash River. Cuts through Vincennes, Indiana, and you got Mount Carmel and some places like that where the Wabash River runs, just north of Evansville. Now, east of the high, this is where you're most likely, all these yellow spots, is where you're most likely to pick up some fog overnight tonight and very early tomorrow. But as you can see, it's not widespread. It's just kind of patchy. So when you get up in the morning, you go to work, go to school, there will be most likely patchy areas of fog. And we're only going to get down to about 30 Some of you may get into the upper 20s, but around 30 is probably most likely where we're going to end up for low temperature tonight. This is midday tomorrow, Thursday. There's your high, sitting then over Michigan. Now, as I mentioned last night, if you were watching, I was talking about the low pressure system, the the overall low pressure system that we're going to be watching coming off of the California coast and then pushing east. And this is it. And some of these are just little series of knockoff low pressure systems, if you will, that are going to be traipsing across the country. The main one here is going to be the one that you see with the isobar drawn around it over the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma. These other ones are going to kind of assist with what's coming for the upcoming weekend. We can watch that develop as we get into 6 p.m. tomorrow night, high pressure right over northern Kentucky and around Cincinnati. Here comes our low, the main low, the surface low, is going to strengthen a little bit more as it moves across the desert southwest and into Texas and Oklahoma. This is, by the way, this is still the same front that came through here last night and early this morning and brought us the rain. So what it's doing is it's going down into the Gulf, it's hitting a wall of high pressure, and it's just stalling out. And really what's going to happen is this front is going to wait on the surface low and the upper lows associated with it. All that's going to work its way east to set us up for the weekend wet weather. Here is early Friday morning, actually around midnight or so. Let me reset this because it didn't draw the fronts and all the high pressures and low pressures and all that on. Come on. You see it's buffering. Oh, there we go. Thank you. So let me reset here. This is 6 a.m. Friday morning. Here's our high pressure now moving east of us. And you know what that means? At first, we're going to get an east wind. Then it's going to go more southeasterly. And then it's going to become more southerly, which means it's going to warm up again. Now, not as high as 76, not yet, but it's going to warm up just as this system out west starts to make some headway, bringing with it not only some Pacific moisture, but eventually, once we get this high pressure ridge out of the way and this front starts to move north, then it's going to also pump in some Gulf moisture. And again, all of this working together to set us up for the rain that we're going to see Saturday and Sunday. So this is Friday morning, Friday the 13th. Dun dun. I never worry about that, Friday the 13th. I have a buddy named Freddie. Actually, I have an uncle named Freddie. He was a little scary, but anyway, I digress. We go Friday night, 6 p.m. High pressure ridge moves east, and here comes our front. See, it's coming back north, and now we're getting all this Pacific moisture moving in with the low pressure system, this entire system moving east and coming through Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, even then into Arkansas and Missouri and the Kansas with a lot of rain. We talked about how some of this rain, especially for Arkansas, it's going to be a lot of rain. Maybe not so much us. We're going to get some beneficial rain, but not as much as some of the places back west of us. So this is Friday night. We will be rain-free here in the 270. Now, as we get into Saturday, this is 6 a.m., you can see that the rain then is starting to move in to western Kentucky. Based on what I'm seeing right now, I think the first half of the day on Saturday will be dry. So if you've got to do something, go get groceries or whatever you want to do, say outside at the beginning of Saturday up until about noon, you should be dry. But from any time after 12 noon through the rest of the day on Saturday, it's going to get wet, rainy. Here comes now our main low pressure system, and you can see it's tightening up. You got the tighter isobars around it, which means the low is strengthening as it moves through Texas, taking with it, this is the same front that moved through last night here in Bowling Green and brought us the rain. Now it's going to return north as part of this system that's going to come through this weekend with the combination of Pacific and Gulf moisture. Here is Sunday morning, 6 a.m. Now, the models have been lately moving this low north and then pushing it back south. Then it goes north, and today it's back south. So all of this is just the model differences trying to work out their differences. And they're starting to come closer together because we're starting to get closer to the weekend, and so things will start to come in to little more agreement once we get closer to Saturday and Sunday. But this is where they have it right now, the Weather Service, and it's right there, just about Tupelo, Mississippi. Warm air coming in on the east side of it, bringing our temperatures up into the mid 50s, maybe even upper 50s, with a warm front. And then here's your little spokes of the wheel, these little upper disturbances, these little waves, short waves, but a big shield of rain. Thunderstorms, not so much for us. I mean, there may be down in Alabama, Georgia, further south of the warm front, because this will be the warm sector between the warm front and the cold front. This is Sunday morning. Then we get into Sunday evening, into Monday morning. That system moves on out and continues to strengthen as it moves out pretty quickly into the Atlantic, and then we start to clear out. High pressure takes over. But you know what? Good news is, I really don't see us cooling down after that front. As a matter of fact, the overall flow of things is going to be what we call more zonal from west to east, and that's going to keep us from getting colder. So I see us getting more into the 60s after this system passes this weekend as we get into Monday. Here's Monday, and then here's Tuesday. Southwest, look at that, southwest wind flow. And it's going to continue as this system, this huge system out west and in the northern Rockies continues to strengthen. It looks like it's mainly a winter storm back that way. But for us, we're going to be feeling like spring by Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday will be in the mid to maybe even upper 60s. And then by next Wednesday, a week from today, we will see some shower activity up north of us. We will be warm and breezy, upper 60s to near 70. Yeah, next Wednesday. That's going to be good. The main systems to watch are going to be this one to the north and, of course, the one out west. So the jet is going to be more active in the northern stream for us as we get into next week. So, yeah, if we're going to watch something happen, I'm still just kind of not buying into a big storm set up for us, either winter storm or spring storm. Right now, it just doesn't appear that's coming our way. Rainfall is coming our way, and here's the latest projection of rainfall that we're looking at coming into southern Kentucky and the 270. And as you can see, the heaviest area of rain, and we saw this shift last night that it was going to go a little bit further south and west of our area, and the bullseye is going to be over parts of Arkansas. In fact, it's moved even a little further west. Last night it was setting right over central Arkansas, right about Little Rock and Hot Springs. Now it's moved a little further west and northwest, Fort Smith, Arkansas, that Joplin area, Missouri. So that's where some of the heaviest rain is going to occur this weekend. And they're looking at 2.5 to 3 inches of rain. For us, we're still looking at an inch and a quarter, inch and a half, which is not bad. And it's rain that we really need. We're starting to actually run behind by almost 2.5 inches on rainfall from where we're supposed to be pacing at this point of the year. Okay, let's do the contrast and compare by showing you the European model. And as you can see, the rain snow line gets close to Bowling Green, but it just kind of hangs there as we get into tonight and tomorrow. This is the somewhat cooler air that you're feeling or have felt today and will feel maybe tonight. But then as we get into tomorrow and the weekend, look at that blue line move. It's moving east and northeast, and now you'll begin to see not only Pacific moisture coming in, but also eventually you're going to start to see Gulf moisture pumping in. So this is our system out west getting underway. And look at this. In parts of Wyoming, you get into Colorado, you get into New Mexico, maybe even a little bit of Arizona. Some of this is snow. Cold enough there for a little bit of snow. The rest of it, though, is rain. So that's kind of unique. Here we go into Saturday morning, afternoon, and evening. Just keep it moving here. Saturday, just like I said, first part of the day on Saturday will be dry. So if you want to do something outdoors Saturday early, you're good. About midday, around noon and into the afternoon on Saturday, including Saturday night and all day Sunday, it's going to be rain, and a lot of it. And it will all be rain. As you see here, pretty good shield of rain. Now we're into Sunday morning. Now, it looks like, from what I just showed you to this, it looks like the overall models are starting to lean toward the European model solution, because they've got this tracking almost like I showed you. Mississippi, Alabama will be on the northern side of the system, but because we have so much of a good warm flow out of the Gulf out ahead of this thing, then we're not going to see any kind of wintry weather on top of this thing like we've seen at other times this winter. When we've had southern tracking lows like this, on the north side, we've had wintry weather, but it's not even there this time, because the atmosphere will be warming up and continuing to warm up leading up to the weekend. And so the rain snow line that you see here is way up north into the Great Lakes. So the more moderated air, the flow out of the Gulf, warmer southwesterly flow, all of that's going to keep us warm. Warm enough to where we don't have to worry about snow, ice, freezing rain, sleet, all the yucky stuff we've dealt with so far. So that's wonderful news. Here we go into Sunday, still a lot of rain. It starts to move out Sunday afternoon and evening, and now we're getting into Monday. Pretty nice weather, but look at the warm air that continues. I mean, this is where it lives right here. Now, we're going to have continued southwest flow. You can see the isobars here showing southwesterly wind flow as high pressure builds back in. Even out in the plains, I mean, this is all southwesterly wind. So everybody down here south of that red blue line there you see is going to be incredibly warm into the beginning of next week. Now, we do have an onshore system or offshore system coming in off the coast of California. This is the next one in line that we'll have to look at next week, at the middle and end of next week. So here we go into Monday. Here comes Tuesday. Pretty quiet, warm. Still see the incredibly warm flow here over a good chunk, 2/3 of the country. We go through Tuesday and now into Wednesday. Now we start to see the system out west taking shape, along with a more active northern jet and some upper level energy around this tightening 985 millibar low pressure system over North Dakota. Look at all the wintry weather wrapping around this thing. That's pretty tight, pretty intense system. On the east side of it, though, warm enough to where a lot of this is just rain, even in the Great Lakes until you get into southern Canada. So that system, and here's a front, looks like it's right about there where I drew that red line. Cold front coming through. So this is going to be a tightly wound system with a lot of wind. Our winds are going to pick up too. I mean, look at all these isobars, tightly wound up, tightly packed wind gradient from the south and west. That means warm air. Like I said, next Wednesday, a week from today, we could be back into the mid upper 60s, maybe even close to 70. And then we're going to need to watch this next piece of energy that's coming through the Four Corners. And there's another one that's up here off of the Washington, Oregon coast. So we're going to have some quiet weather for a while, but I would say probably as we get toward the end of next week, let's take it ahead, get into Thursday. That northern system stays way to the north of us, so we're not worried about that one. Here we get into Thursday, and now we're going to start to see some developing scattered showers, perhaps thunderstorm activity in this continued very warm and breezy flow. Then the moisture starts to come back up. And that's when we're going to see, maybe by, I would say, Wednesday night into Thursday next week, scattered showers and thunderstorms, while out west, here's this big storm. This is another one falling in line behind this one that's up north of us. But look at the dive in the colder air. Look at this cold air dive coming in the Pacific Northwest. That's much colder air that's going to start to move in. This is Thursday, next Thursday, not this Thursday, next Thursday, the 19th. And then we go into Friday, the 20th. Now we're starting to see better development of showers and storms with Gulf moisture coming in from right out of the Gulf. Here is a 996 millibar low, which is not deep, but it's getting deeper. And you see east of the Rockies, a lot of snow here, and even some snow back in some of those places that we don't normally see the snow, which is, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. And then look at this. Even this is the next system offshore. Look at Oregon and Northern California, Southern Washington, Nevada, snow. So this is a much colder trending system, but will that mean colder air for us? Well, I can go out as far as maybe next Friday and Saturday. Now this, look at this. Oh, this is next Saturday. So as this low pressure system continues to strengthen right here in the middle of the country, of course, on the north side of it, you've got the really cold air wrapping around. And you see it's taking a pretty good dive here. Out ahead of it, there will be enough instability and enough wind. See, the wind's tightly packed here. So we're looking at a pretty good moisture feed here with lots of wind. And as you can tell, this looks like it's going to be a long line of possibly intense thunderstorms. I did not say severe. It's way too soon to say that. But I would say next weekend, the 21st, we're going to have to watch for the potential for maybe some stronger storms, as you see there. Classic setup for that. But that's a long way off. That's not even this weekend, it's next weekend. So let's not worry about it right now. I'm just giving you a little long pass here. We'll see if it holds. Here's a look at the blender, model blender. We keep it mild and even warmer gradually as we go through the next few days. 50s, 51, 57, 58, 57, then 60s, 61, 67, near 70, maybe next Wednesday. I mean, these are really, really wonderful temperatures for February, running above normal. Normal is 50, 51, maybe 52 by the end of this 10-day stretch. But you can see we're going to be running right at 10, 12, 15 degrees warmer than normal next week. And then we do cool down by next Friday into Saturday a little bit. And that is that system I just showed you that could potentially be something, stormy by next weekend, the 21st. So that all makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense to you because it is kind of the way it's going. All right. So as you know, storms are going to get more active. It's that time of the year when we're going to start talking about more springy, stormy weather. That doesn't mean every thunderstorm is going to be severe, but I mean, even here, it is the middle of February, and we're already seeing a bit of a pattern change, going from the winter storm type, very cold atmosphere into something that's much warmer and therefore a little stormier. I mean, that the transition is happening at about the right time. Plus, we're going to be going from La Nina to El Nino, or in between, or kind of a neutral ground between La Nina and El Nino and La Nina, back and forth, but we're going to be in a neutral zone as far as the patterns go. And so usually during those times, we can see a little bit more active weather as we head into the spring. So I don't see anything that raises a real red flag. Not yet, anyway. Okay. Now, we've been talking generators a lot. So when I talked to Barry Connolly this morning at R&R Controls, he's like, let's give the generator stuff a rest for a little bit. Because, I mean, just to be honest, they've got a backlog. And they're trying to get caught up to everybody who was affected by the winter storm of the last 2 weeks or so, and they've got a long list of homeowners and businesses that need to be taken care of as far as generators. So he said, "Hey, tonight let's make the emphasis on HVAC, heating, cooling, ventilation." And I'm like, "Sure. Hey, it's your call." But it's a good time to be talking about this because now that we're looking at more spring-like weather coming our way, I mean, how is your system? How is your HVAC? Is your system ready to switch from heat to cool? Are your filters clean? How's the ventilation? I mean, are you getting circulation in your home and in your office, in your business? Or when you cut it on, does it sound like something's in there caught in the fan or knocking around in there? I mean, there's all kinds of things that can go wrong. Well, this is where you need to get R&R Controls to come out and take a look at your system. They do, they're big on commercial HVAC services, big businesses, They go out and they take care. They do the big cooling towers and the big multi-ton systems that you see sitting on rooftops at some manufacturing plants and big industry. They do that, but they also take care of the little system that's at your house. They can take care of that. Plus, they do, just like with generators, they do preventative maintenance, customized to your system. They do new installation. They do renovations with systems, controls programming. They have things now where you can get on your phone and you can download an app or download it on your computer, and you can control from anywhere what your house and what your business is doing. Set the temperature for a different room at a time. I mean, it's climate control that you control from anywhere, and they can set you up with that. I've seen them do it. I've seen Barry sit there with his computer, go to a different plant in a different location. He goes, "Here, I can show you the temperature in this room at this plant that's 50 miles away." It's just incredible the stuff they can do now. So I would say, as we're transitioning from February to March and from winter into spring, you're going to need to have your system checked out, and this is a good time to do it. So why not call R&R Controls and have them come out and take a look at your system, or better yet, hit them up right there on their website, rnrcontrols.com or rnrhvac.com. And of course, you can call the number 270-777-2024. Simple number, 270-777-2024. Because with R&R Controls, you'll never be without. Whether it's heating, cooling, ventilation, doesn't matter. They take care of all that. Okay, let's do some shout outs and get to some of your messages here this evening. Let's see, we'll start up here, back it up to the top. Here's Mary. Howdy, Chris Allen from Albany, Kentucky, down in Clinton County. Albany. Thank you very much, Mary. Yeah, Mary. Okay. Let's see. Here is Nancy. Rain is only liquid sunshine. You are correct. That's looking at things more optimistically than pessimistically. Glass half full or half empty, optimist, pessimist, that sort of thing. Yes, you are correct, Nancy. Here is Donna. Good evening. Here is Mike. Thanks for tuning in. Here is Robbie. Love this warmer weather. Boy, I do too. even though it's cooler today, very nice, about where it should be. This is good. This is good. Here's Gretch. Beautiful. Love it. Here's Patty. Love drinking a cup of coffee and watching it rain. I do too. It's just relaxing. You know, especially when it's not so cold, you can sit out on the porch, get out on the porch swing or whatever, and have that cup of coffee with you, and it's just steam coming out of it, you know. It smells so good. First thing in the morning, you're just sitting there in the swing, going back and forth, and it's like it creaks a little bit, and you got your cup of coffee, and it's like, man, those are the moments that we live for. Some of you are going, what? No, trust me. Those are the moments you live for. Let's see. Who else we got here? Here's Lana watching, she says. Connie is watching from Metcalfe County. Thank you, Connie. Phyllis, thank you for a forecast without all the complaining about the other. Yeah. Okay. Phyllis got on to me. Phyllis, I'm calling you out. Phyllis got on to me last night. She goes, will you please stop talking about all the other people, the yahoos and the hype casters and everybody? Uh-oh, Phyllis, I'm talking about them. But you brought it up. Right, folks? She brought it up. I wasn't going to say anything, Phyllis, until you did. MJ, thanks for the update from Anna, Kentucky. All right. Here's Corbin watching from Litchfield. Sammy. Let's see. Sammy. Yeah. Thanks for the update. Here's Jean, also thanking me for the update. Let's see. Who else here? Edward. Appreciate you watching, Edward. Devin. A wet Valentine's weekend indeed. Oh, you got that right. Here's Todd, Big Todd in the house, watching from Haywood, over by Barren River Lake. That's where Haywood is. Here's Shauna, keep the sunshine coming. Here's Todd. Thank you for watching, Todd. And let's see here. Shauna from Bowling Green. Thanks for watching. Debbie, thanks for all you do to help us keep up with the weather. Well, you're welcome. Thank you. Phyllis, I do respect you and thanks for doing better. LOL. Well, Phyllis, you know, I'm only picking. But now about those yahoos. Okay, I'll stop. I was just picking again. Okay. I love the back and forth with you guys. See, I don't have this on television. On TV, I can't have the back and forth. It's a one-way ticket. Here we can talk back and forth. We can share stories and questions, and you can tell me where you're watching from and all of that. It's so cool. Technology is so cool. And I've always been a geek. I dive into this stuff, the software, the hardware. I love it all. And of course, the weather and broadcasting, whether it's TV, radio, or now this, social media, streaming, all of it. It's cool. Speaking of TV, I'll be on your TV tomorrow morning, News 40, 6 a.m. sunrise, 9 a.m., and then again at noon. And of course, anytime, WNKY.com and on the WNKY News 40 weather app. You see right there, it's now 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock. It's almost my bedtime because I got to get up at 2:45 tomorrow morning so I can be on sunrise at 6. In the meantime, God bless you all. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.